All right. Welcome in. Thursday, last day for us. That's at Eric Lindquist. Looks like, did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut. Happy haircut to me. Yeah, yesterday. I got a wedding
Nice.
to go to Saturday. Yeah. Gotta look pretty and stuff.
See money coming right from the High Slop Show on the OddsShopper YouTube channel, Dinger Show, to, in fact, giving me a good reminder here that we should probably change over to our background and not High Slop. Got enough pub just now
Can we
for
get
30
this little bottom
minutes.
bar going away here too? Can we get the little the little scroll thing off of there? Is that a thing?
That's
I
ours.
just pay attention to it. I know. Is there a way to remove it just for now?
Yeah, sure. You don't like it?
Yeah, I like this more. I like being able to talk with you and talk through the plays. And I always see that bottom. It literally blocks out the today's top plays from the Tails Marketplace. Yeah, it actually bugs me. I didn't know it bugged me until just now.
So I guess what we need is Joey Valentine, who does a fantastic job of just keeping us looking incredibly beautiful with our graphics and everything along those lines. We need him to create something where today's top plays is elevated so that we can still run this. And then you're right. That's what we need, right? Okay. I didn't realize.
You didn't notice it until now because normally I'm just I'm not always looking at you. I'm looking at other stuff on the screen, bouncing around. But I was looking at you for that, and I just got distracted because it kept moving and it was blocking where it says today's top plays from the Tails Marketplace, which is what we're here to do. We have free top plays. We're going to take you through the parlay builder, and there is an NBA game that I know we're going to want to build for today. We've got to give you our plus money play. Cashed mine yesterday. You're very welcome. And then
what was the number on that? Do you remember?
Plus 130, plus 135.
Okay, so a half unit won what?
Half unit, I'll tell you exactly. I think it was
this guy was not up on the board until a minute.
I won 0.68 units.
0.68. Okay, great. So you are at actually I'll do the math.
Yeah, I played it for a half unit. I didn't play it for a full. So yeah,
no, that's great. That's great. 2 and 4, by the way, on the year. All right, so we got a couple of things we're going to do. You see, free plays are already up for us. You mentioned game 1 of the NBA Finals. We could have brought on I guess a bunch of people here to talk about the NBA Finals, but this is your wheelhouse, and this is where we've been able to collectively in the Discord make a ton of money. So, Patrick, how do you cash in on Profit X? You just withdraw your money, man. I think that's what you're asking, right? It's a super simple withdrawal process over there.
I could not love these marketplace books, sweepstake books anymore. And they're just
amazing. We're going to find our number one free. We can breathe a little bit without a guest in a minute, but we're going to find a free player too. Look around the board, see what we can come up with. We're going to go right there, though. I do want to hit this insane boost, and we can build it together. Maybe we will pull something from Portfolio EV as far as our third leg, but there is a 200% Onyx same game boost in the NBA. I threw this out to the company earlier on our audio-visual Slack channel, asking if anybody wanted to get down. And the only person who responded, including you, mind you, was Jake Hari, who is essentially speaking this would be like speaking Mandarin and then asking me to have a conversation with Jake, him coming over and giving an NBA play. So you and I have now cornered you into this.
Oh my God. Arizona just scored again. They scored 7 in the 9th. It's 11-10 Diamondbacks. There's no way. There's no way, Eitan.
There is a way, but there really isn't. And I'm going to tell you why. I put together earlier today just give me a second here because I'm on a hot spot. Now I have to go into DraftKings.
Oh, I put
together a 4-leg parlay that I was going to post, but it was too late. Now, luckily, thanks to DraftKings, I got limited on this. The play was Arizona, right? Money line, under 5.5 Grant Holmes Ks, under 5.5 Robbie Ray, which is still out there. That game is yet to go out. And then the clincher here was over 4.5 Casey Mize Ks, and he's dead. I think Casey Mize was removed on a stretcher. So I'm going to watch this incredible, masterful comeback, and it's going to be all for naught. Although, did I give that out on the Discord? Wait a second.
Maybe.
All right. Free play. First, wait a second here. This is what you're missing. Stuff like this. I don't think I gave it out on the Discord. I think it was. Oh,
I didn't see it. Otherwise, I would have probably played it. I normally play.
I had money lines, though. Where are my money lines?
I'm always here in the shadows post. I usually bet most everything. I did not see that today, so I don't.
Yes. It was the Royals. That's
Royals. Right. Gotcha.
Okay, there we go. That's not going to show up on free picks. So there you have it. Let's look at this. Sabrina Ionescu, Mike, right away, popping. Sabrina Ionescu, 5 dimes over at Profit X. It's now plus 110. That's a massive difference there. This one, I know, look, you and I, this is essentially just a blind tail if you want to put that in there. Carlos Santana, by the way, did not go yard last night. Red Sox on the money line, that was another one, right, that we had as far as a free play was concerned. But Bobano bets. What do you think about this? 9 runs this game's just about to start. We can get it in right now if you want.
Yeah. I mean, that's like live play. Chris Bassett has a lefty problem. Jesus Luzardo had the worst outing that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Brutal.
Last time out, 12 earned in like sub 75 pitches or some shit. I got this at 7.5 yesterday. So it's at 8.5 minus 102. I got this at minus 122 over 7.5. So I got a full run. Nice. That felt good. I said you could have played 8 at minus 110 everywhere. It's gone up to 8.5. I think people are seeing what I'm seeing. Jesus Luzardo is not going to be able to get swing and miss against Toronto. And he's been giving up hard contact over the course of the last month. And then from the left side, you've got that's what the Phillies generally do, except for yesterday, of course. They normally get after your righties.
Yeah, we just got off the slop show, and I put Max Kepler in at 520 just to pass it. There's going to be a home runner.
600 earlier this morning, and I didn't bet it, and I feel like a fake.
Dude, I'm a fake short. For the OddsShopper short this morning, Cameron Meisner, I get him at 870. 870. Do you know what he is right now? 520.
Yep. So yesterday, same thing happened with Tampa. Cameron. I got 2 guys. Did you see I hit? It was on flip. They were both like plus 1,400 and plus 1,100, and they closed in the 700s. And I don't think either of them put a ball into play. That umpire called what's his face out, not Meisner, the other guy, called him out. It was a ball that was 6.5 inches off the plate, and it was a called third strike.
Unbelievable, man.
It was the biggest missed call by just inches off the plate in the history of StatCast.
And StatCast was not around during Eric Gregg's Miami Marlins World Series.
No, he was not. What was that? That's an amazing callback, by the way. For people who don't know, there were some animated strike threes in that outing, and you're watching guys just like, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? Was that Diamondbacks Marlins? Is that
it was the first Marlins, right?
Yeah,
97?
I think it was Diamondbacks. I think they were playing Diamondbacks.
So
no, because they won that one. Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland.
Okay. So Eric, Mr. Gregg, as I knew him, he gave me my first ever interview, like across the board. I was so nervous. I had this audio recorder. I went to college and was good friends with his oldest son, Eric Jr., Greg Jr. And
Uncle Ned's kid.
And his other brother worked for the Phillies and Sixers for a while, like in media. And the best part about it is that in his retirement days, Greg, the umpire, worked at like Chickies and Pete's, right? Well-known sports bar around the Philadelphia area. And there would be a picture. You couldn't wear your hat any other way than this. And there was a picture on the side, like right when you walked in, which was like, you can't wear your hat this way. And it was Eric, big ump like this, like with the face, like can't do it. And he would just hang there. And he would bartend every now and again, guest bartend, and he would just chill. And he would talk to people. And maybe he would not work security or anything like that. But, you know, if there was an issue or something, he'd go over and talk to people. And it was like having a celebrity greeter, if you will. And he would bounce around to different spots. So I can't just say like, oh, I'm some baseball savant and pulled that out of my back pocket. I kind of had that ready to go. If anybody has time YouTube after this show, of course, Wing Bowl in Philadelphia, and you can see this just awful attempt at debauchery. And he used to judge that. It was a wing eating contest facilitated by strippers, and he would judge it. And I'll end you with this. Since he was the judge, he would be able to take home trays of wings that weren't eaten yet because they would overcook. And it was this PJ Wheelahan spot that would make them. So being buddies with his son, we'd be all fucking lit up. And here he is coming home at Sunday with like 2 or 3 trays for football, right? Watching football with wings that, they weren't served. So, all right, too much of that in the back pocket. Halliburton, 9 dimes. Siakam, you've got a duo to pick from here. Sean Evans is going to go Halliburton 9 dimes, Siakam 2 threes. I think I know where you're going to go here, but you let me know.
Siakam 2 threes.
I'm on him dropping 20, by the way. I love Siakam 20 plus tonight. I think I already put it out on the court. But of these two,
I love that even, but it's just simply how. So I love over 1.5 threes for Pascal Siakam. So Oklahoma City, a little bit of drop coverage against Minnesota and Julius Randle. Minnesota didn't knock down shots. Can we establish that Arizona? Or not Arizona.
You're just watching that.
Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers as we're live here, and it just annoys me because I need that guy to go away. But Pascal Siakam, he's going to get open looks. They're going to allow him to shoot the basketball as opposed to Tyrese Halliburton, who is going to get the Alex Caruso and SGA treatment. Have fun with that one. Let me know how it goes. I do think they're going to go to a lot of these Chet lineups, and we'll see. Miles Turner knocking down shots is going to be very important for Indy keeping this one close. But in the grand scheme of things, like I go back to like Julius Randle was so broken for the end of that series, and Minnesota had so many opportunities to knock down shots and simply didn't. And now you get Pascal Siakam, who 3 of his last 5 has knocked down at least 3 threes. He's attempted 4 or more in 3 of those. It just feels like it's a combination of things. It's both, the looks, the quality of looks you're going to get considering Tyrese Halliburton, and then Isaiah Hartenstein, have fun. Miles Turner, have fun. You guys are going to really enjoy each other's company, but they might even be short-lived as this game might go small. And that just creates Pascal Siakam 230 totals. I mean, we're going from the Knicks, where I'm describing those things, to Oklahoma City, and they need to keep pace. They're 10-point dogs, basically. Pascal Siakam over 1.5 threes is my favorite play from the game. Not close.
Yeah, Sean Evans has this too. Nails it. We're right there with you. You guys lockstep. Let's leave those two because I do want to go ahead and boost some stuff here real quick. So let's look at this. All right, FanDuel. No, not FanDuel. I'm sorry. Onyx has a 25%. So we got those two, the 9, which is underway already, Siakam 2 threes. Unless you see something here, right? Like anything from Big Smokey, Dinger of the Day. Josh, I mean, you also have the Cubs, run line, A's on the money line. We already hit Sean. Bet Baba's got the parlay here. Drake Baldwin with a home run at 5-1.
Not a big fan of. Well, I guess that game's live, so that one doesn't matter as much.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Interesting. So both of the lefties and like all the lefties that exist in that game, Zach Eflin is so bad against lefties this year. It's actually impressive. 3.67 strikeouts per walk, so he's not striking out any relative. 4.3 K per 9, but 2.74 home runs per 9. That's what we're getting from Zach Eflin. So I bet Rowdy Tellez, Cal Raleigh to the moon. Felt good about that. And then in this one, Adley Rutschman on the other side against Brian Wu. Wu's a really good pitcher, but these are some big numbers considering lefty power plays up in Seattle relative to expectation. It's the hardest ballpark to create anything in all of baseball, even worse than San Francisco. But in terms of home runs, pretty flat. And I entertained Ryan O'Hearn. I entertained Adley Rutschman. You could actually talk me into Adley Rutschman from the left side there, but not going to do it.
All right, here's what we're going to do. It's technically the Portfolio EV parlay of the day because we are going to pull one leg from Portfolio EV, but I have an idea, okay? My kids watch this show, and it's a bunch of other kids on YouTube, and every time they have a thought or an idea, a bubble pops up, and they say, idea, and I think I have it. All right, before we go over to Portfolio EV and pull something from there, in fact, maybe we'll do that at the end. Here's my thought, all right? I know the more you add, the less likely you are to win overall, but we do have a 200% same-game parlay boost, so you can take this for what it's worth. Doesn't mean that you have to go heavy chalk and lay down some ridiculous juiced-up line, but you've got some flexibility and freedom. Why don't we do this? And this is just a suggestion. Why don't you give a leg, I give a leg, or I'll give a leg. I'm ready to go. You give a leg. That's fine, right? And we'll pull something we see here, and then we'll pull something from Portfolio EV. So it's essentially a tails full-on like free picks / us / Portfolio EV, 4 legs, 200% boost, and we're good to go.
Love this idea. Okay. So let's start with the Siakam piece. I
just go to the 2 threes.
Yeah, I don't know another way to go with this game.
Well,
here's one I like. I would love for you to go. Go ahead, teacher.
This has been, you gave this out already. At least I know internally, as far as I know already, you were on this actually. Correct. Before 12:32 because of our
the line. I think it might be the plus 125. So that's why I haven't.
It is. My point of it, though, is are we counting this as Sean Evans' play and you'll give another, or is this your play and we'll find another?
That's a good idea. We should make that Sean Evans, because then I'll go Alex Caruso over 10.5 points plus assists. I like that as well.
Oh, man, I'm under his PRA tonight. Shit.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. 14.5. Is that where you got it?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think that you're going to get the time, but you've also eliminated assists, right?
So I eliminated rebounds.
Rebounds. Okay, yeah. So I feel better about that. Like I just don't think the rebounds are going to be there in general, but that's fine.
Correct. I don't think they will either, but we got 2 teams that are going from as slow a matchups as you can possibly get to about the most breakneck speed for both of them is what you can possibly get. 230 total. Like, this is not your everyday NBA finals played at a lethargic pace. Like, things are going to move in this one. So let's set some baselines. And this is kind of what I did last night as I was working through it. And I was like, I don't know if I love anything, but Alex Caruso did pop for me. He averaged 20 minutes during the regular season. I'm doing all of this, from the top of my head, because I've tried to find every angle I possibly could for this game, and it's really, really hard. Alex Caruso averaged 20 minutes during the regular season. During the postseason, that's closer to the 25-minute mark. If you put him in for a baseline of 24, which I think is probably where you're getting in non-competitive games, and I think you're getting 28, 30 in competitive spots here. If I just baseline him at 24, he averaged 7.5 and 2.5 during the regular season. So that's 10 that he averaged during a regular season. And I get it, the defensive quality of the opponent, yada, yada, yada. I totally get it. But if you add 4 more minutes, you're increasing that baseline by 20%. So you're taking from 10 to 12. And that is without factoring in the up-tempo matchup. So I'm sorry that you're on the over of PR or on the under of PRA for him, but when you just go through a projection basis here, I just don't see how you project him for less than 12.
I project him for less. First off, I don't think that there is even with what we saw in the last couple of games of the Western Conference Finals, I don't think that is consistent for those types of minutes. And I don't think that it equals, even with a weaker team up front in Indiana, I don't think this transfers to 5 rebounds. Like, I simply don't look at his stat line. So for me, I didn't even look at it. And I'll credit you. Like, that's a much sharper angle to take, which is eliminating 1 and looking at those 2 with points and assists. But I looked at it as a whole and said, I could easily land at 13 or even 14 here, but it would be as a result of maybe getting 1 or 2 rebounds compared to what would be a necessary 5 if you look at the addition to clear this. So that's where I was looking at it. More so was just rebounds was way too heavy. And I think, OKC is probably going to still look and entertain at that smaller lineup. But if not, I don't know. Like, there could be, and I don't think it's probably going to be closer to your baseline, for me at least, with minutes tonight in the low 20s than it would be 28, 29. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to add your play because this is your play. I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
I'm sorry.
No. Look, I think another option here, and I'm a little torn, and I'm kind of curious where you're at, right? So I'm looking at, in a similar vein, right? I think I already bet it. 27.5 PRA for Chet drops to 25.5 points and rebounds. I don't think it's big ass. Yeah, I don't think it's a big ass to get 10 boards in a game in which we should expect minutes and opportunity on the glass. Like, unless the Pacers roll out Obi Toppin for 30 minutes, which I don't think is going to happen, I don't know, man. So I like the – my gut tells me 25.5 points and rebounds versus the 27.5 PRA.
I'm a big fan of that. So again, the Hartenstein-Turner thing, the dynamic is just kind of insane to me of this series. And so like, there's no way you rip Chet off the floor in this series. Like Chet is very long for this series. He's just so good, does so many things that you want. You want to have these long fours, these long fives out on the perimeter with quicker feet that can, you know, kind of distract the threes and kind of be out there. We know what he does at the rim. I mean, he's just fantastic there, has been his entire life because, you know, you get grown up in northern Minnesota with a fucking 20-foot wingspan. You're going to be pretty good at blocking shots. But I definitely like the Chet look in this game. But I didn't really find an angle that I liked until you just kind of laid it out there.
Okay. Do you see anything here? Bow betting has a couple. We only need one right now. Miles Turner under 5.5 boards. Jalen Williams.
That was. Hang on. What's that? What is that? Players with similar usage of it. Okay. I just wanted to kind of see his breakdown there for it. The Miles Turner relationship. I'm just staying away from everything Miles Turner except for
really hard.
Miles Turner over 24.5 fantasy points on pick 6. That's the only one that I found that's advantageous for Turner, period.
Jalen Williams under 34.5 PRA looked like.
I think that's pretty good. Jalen Williams played out of his gourd against Minnesota. My biggest issue is that for him, SGA, this game is just going to move. It's in OKC. I mean, can Jalen Williams play even better? Like, these are big. Do you like any of these?
I'm sorry.
It's a big number, 34.5. I might be all right with shorting that one.
All right, keep that on the table for a second. Do you like this? Any of these? Obi Toppin under 1.5 dimes, Caruso under. Stay away from Caruso. I don't want to add another Caruso prop. How about either Obi or Dort? Obi under 1.5 dimes, Dort under 2.5 made threes. I'm off screen, so when you take a pause like that, my heart skips a beat that we froze.
I'm thinking. It was my thinking face. Under 1.5 threes. 2.5 was the number. 2.5? It's not 2.5.
For Dort, it's 2.5 made threes.
2.5 for Dort?
It's 1.5. Hold on. Yeah, it's 1.5 on. It's 1.5 on Onyx.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll keep looking. Well, you don't have to go with one or the other. In fact, let's do this, right? Let's just hit the refresh button. And we'll go right to the top and see what we can find. Sorry for the vertigo here. Close your eyes, folks. Close your eyes.
I love it. I love it.
NBA free play. SGA over 5.5 rebounds. Let's start there. Any interest on the Degenalytics call?
Yep.
Let's see. Right now, Jalen Williams is on. It's king of the hill, right?
Yeah.
Right now, Jalen Williams under 34 PRA is up top. Does this knock it off? Does the SGA knock it off? We'll go through this rapid fire.
Yes.
It does.
It does.
Okay. SGA under 5.5 rebounds. Going once. Let's see. Going once.
I thought that was over 5 rebounds.
Any of these? Do you like either or any of these to knock off SGA under 5.5 rebounds? This is from Bet Baba.
No.
Okay. Let's just look and see real quick. We're moving. Halliburton. We already got Sean in there. Oh, wait. What are we doing? Jeez. Am I this much of an idiot? We already have Sean Evans in there. We need a portfolio EV bet.
Let's do it.
I am just sorry.
Sweetie.
I'm struggling right now. This is a problem. DraftKings NBA should highlight everything that we have in the. So this is it. Are you okay with this?
Yes.
If you're not, we can get creative. We don't have to lock into this. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster for TJ McConnell in this series.
Bro, we're at plus 3,600.
Caruso, Kaysen Wallace, SGA. Like, what are we doing here? Tyrese Halliburton is going to be your primary point guard nonstop. Like, TJ McConnell is not going to go out and score 7. Sorry.
There you go.
But he scored 10 points 3 times in the last series. I don't care. This is a different series.
Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so let's lock this one in, right? Good to go. And amazing. 36-1, 200% profit boost over on Onyx. A $25 bet pays $900. TJ McConnell under 6.5 boards. You saw that from Portfolio EV. Pascal Siakam over 1.5 threes. That's from the Tails free picks page from Sean Evans DFS. Alex Caruso under 10.5 points and assists. That is from Eric Lindquist, and Chet Holmgren over 25.5 PRA. Look at that. Tyler Soderstrom in the board. I'm leaking free plays. I'm going to get in trouble. We're not done. We're not done. We got to do one more thing. No guess, so we don't have to lock, but we have one more thing which could constitute us a lock. All right. Yesterday's action, okay? And laptop won't let me just scroll. That's a shame. Let's just see what we can land on here. Maybe we'll just go back to Eric's stuff and just highlight the fact that you can follow Eric.
Or the fact that Brandon Pfaadt under 4.5 strikeouts with these, and Austin Riley home run in the first game. No big deal. No big deal. Just 2-0 start to the day again. No big
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let me do some quick math. All right.
And I never liked Detroit minus 1.5. I don't know where you got that from. It's not my thing today.
I didn't bet the money line, run line today.
I didn't touch Detroit.
Did I bet the run line? No way.
I did not. No, I'm saying that I'm looking through. I mean, I have nothing. I talked about Riley Green home run potentially being a play. I didn't end up pulling the trigger on it.
Okay. So let's do this. All right. Plus money play. So far, Lindy's 2-4 on the year, down 0.59 units. I'm 2-3 on the year. How is that possible? 5. How could you have more than me? Right?
Because mine was big plus money on the other one. It was plus 135.
No, not units wise. I meant record. You have 6. I have 5. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I think I've only had 5. We started this last Wednesday, so that's 5 days of it.
So you're 2-3. I'm 2-3.
Correct. We're both up money. I think we should be.
No, you're down 0.59. The units I'm good on. The win loss something is off. Forget about the win loss. Who cares? You're down 0.59 units. I'm up 0.37 unit. There we go. Right. It's just it's a half unit bet each. Right. That's all we really need right now. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, let's go to Tyler Soderstrom going up against David Festa. Fiesta. This guy's changeup is kind of the most noted thing that we can talk about. It's so weird. We get these kind of just strange starters for the Minnesota Twins, whether it's Zebby Matthews, David Festa, but you work through a specific mix, and I see why Twins fans are excited about him. I totally get it. But a 5.71 expected ERA has negative regression painted all over it. 1.39 ERA. He does have strikeout stuff, and I repeat, the changeup, filthy. It's a very filthy changeup. But Tyler Soderstrom is plus money for 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs, and we're getting, David Festa just in a spot where he is due for negative regression. It makes all the sense to try to take shots in this early window, in this ballpark. It's just such a good ballpark to target any kind of power. The Twins numbers are all nuked. You can't even touch them, but Jacob Wilson being back in there, batting second. Nice to get that insurance policy ahead of Brent Rooker. You get Soderstrom there. You're going to get so many opportunities, I think, with guys on base to just be able to get a single, knock somebody in, put yourself on base. You got a little bit of power behind you. So like Tyler Soderstrom, it's more of like a bet on the top of the Athletics lineup, and everybody else's numbers don't make any sense.
So I have him on FanDuel minus 120. Where are you getting him? 365?
So let me see.
This is
I played it no vig. I played it no vig. I just explained it no vig. Okay. I'm a jerk. Yeah, minus 105 now over there. You're correct.
Give me another one.
Why don't you go first? And then I've got my strikeouts that have just been printing. So we're going to keep that rocking. I got a alt we're going to go to there.
That's fine. We can do that. We can absolutely do that. I, again, am going back and forth here, right? Because my favorite guy that nobody knows about, maybe we played him like once or twice, super secret text chain that exists between only myself and Eric Lindquist. And this only is because I can't bet at Bet365 here in New Jersey. But I'm a little torn, man. So as you go through everything you were looking at, I was hoping that I could use that time to come to a conclusion. But anytime Kason Wallace is plus 750 to knock down 3 threes, there are about 5 different scenarios here where I can lay out that he's going to take 5 or 6 threes, right? I'm not going to bet that. Of course, the play would be 2 plus threes at a reduced number, but it's still, of course, Kason Wallace is plus 220 to knock down that. And then I'm also looking at what should be pretty good shot volume. And this is going to sound insane. You're going to think I'm crazy. But there's actually a better number for Andrew Nembhard to get me 15 points than there is for Kason Wallace to knock down 2 threes.
That's pretty wild.
I'm going to go Nembhard 15 plus at 235.
Okay.
Increased shot volume. The Oklahoma City defense is going to be all over guys not named Andrew Nembhard. And you know what? If I lose this bet because he goes 1 for 10, okay, or 1 for 11, okay. But at least I'm on to that as opposed to like, oh, he only took 2 shots. There's just no way that happens.
That's fair.
Go ahead.
What book are we using?
Whatever you want. But FanDuel would be ideal because I'm in New Jersey.
FanDuel ideal. Okay.
Doesn't have to be, but
so torn between 2 different ones.
Want to go Satu Sabali? Satu Sabali.
Oh my Lord. French Open Sabali. I mean, there's just so many disgusting.
Aaron Savali.
FanDuel. Dylan Cease. How high up do we want to take Dylan Cease here in the next 10 minutes? That game hasn't started yet. Yeah, it starts in 12 minutes. You want to go 7.5 on Dylan Cease or 8.5 strikeouts?
I'm looking at it right now. 8 is going to be the only one that's going to get you plus money on FanDuel.
What if we just go to the tippy top of the range and just try to say 10 and go really nutty?
630, go nuts. Do it. Is this like you're giving this out? This is on the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Your hands attached to it.
I see FanDuel, there's 9. It's plus 340. Is that correct?
Yes, Cease at 10 is now down to 6-1, plus 320 for 9.
Oh, I like the plus 320 a little bit more.
Obviously, do it.
It's more attainable. Yeah, let's go to the 9.
All right. 50 on each. You want to run the parlay? Go nuts. It's a plus 1307 parlay. I don't think you need to do that, but that's fine. Let's make it happen. I love it. Anything else you want to get out? At Eric Lindquist, of course, on Twitter. At Shander Bets for me. You're watching, I'm sure, on Twitter, so we appreciate you doing that. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Keep us alive, up and running. Keep the show up and running. We appreciate that. As always, my friend, you have the last word. We get a couple of days off. We'll be back on Tuesday. We have, let's see, Prop Guy was he'll be back. Tony Finn is going to join us on Tuesday. So anything you want to get out on the way out, we've got Tony Finn, Lisa Marie, and Prop God slated for next week.
No, I just love my guy, Eitan. He's hanging out it looks like the South. Looks like you're in Charleston, South Carolina, with that patio behind you. But
I'm just in Jersey,
nobody lives a better life than Eitan. Nobody.
I wish.
Hanging out in Jersey in the summers, getting to have the kiddos running around. They're now old enough to not be holding scissors and, potentially causing harm to others. So things are in really good shape there. But it's been another great week hanging out here, talking with some of the Tails people. I hope you guys enjoy this because I'm always at my desk 12 hours a day anyway, just hanging out, betting, firing up betting, talking about betting. And Eitan is doing the exact same damn thing, but in very exotic, amazing locations. And so Hit that like button, not for me, but for Carmen.
Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what the male equivalent of that would be. That's my guy, Aton.
Carmen.
So,
Carmen
like,
is that also not a male name? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble now. Anybody's can name themselves whatever they want. It's fine with
you
me.
can be who you want to be.
How's Taylor Pendrith doing, by the way? Gooba had him first round leader.
No idea, but I'm going to take a look right meow. PGA Tour. I haven't looked at my lineups at
all.
all.
Oh my God, he's tied first. Yes, granted, there are about 5 other guys.
Have to be at the top. There's a bazillion guys. This is insane.
Who cares? A win is a win. Now, granted, a lot of these guys are through 12 and 10.
Yeah, Shane Lowry through 9,500.
Yeah, noted imploder Shane Lowry is out there too. So you never know what could happen. Oh my God. Good for Gooba, man. He was on to something. He nailed it. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. We're back Tuesday. Have a great weekend.